No.
What up, beloved? Yo, what the
Hi.
hell's going on, Tiffany? What the hell? If anybody would have known about this, I thought you would have been fucking knowing about this to put me on. Like, I did not know our women popping. Like, what the fuck? And it's not just, that's just what I just showed you. It's mad sisters with thousands of views going in on sex pills. And the comments are even more crazy because mad sis, black women are talking about, oh yeah, I took it. So I'm lost. So I'm not even in reaction, right? I never encountered any women in my journey. I've had a blessed journey in my life so far, since I was young, that ever needed to take any goddamn pill. If the man touches the right knobs in repetition and honor her correctly, she's usually good.
Totally.
Tremendously if he's on his dean, and also if he is clueless and she's a great teacher, that too. So I've never knew, especially black women, because you know a lot of my Caucasian sisters, they're a little more experimental with different brands of stuff. But the sisters kind of just know what they want, you know, get to the point, and give brothers basic instructions. And the brothers do their job. It usually is always a win-win. I'm blown. I'm usually.
I got something to say.
Okay, yeah, I'm lost. I don't even know where did this come from? Like, who started this?
Well, so I don't pay attention to stuff like that, but so it totally missed it. But a lot of things come up for me. For one, there's our black sisters are the ones who are leading the way right now with getting butt implants. So that just kind of shows the state of where this is going.
Wait,
yeah.
How's that possible too? What?
Yeah, how's it possible? That shows the climate that we're in. This is why we're shut down, because this shit is just out of hand. We needed to all sit down and go to our rooms and think about this. But I think it goes towards, like, there's a lot of shortcutting. And what we have in common is we're about holistic living, which means going to the root of things. So for me, if you're having a problem with your sex drive, there's so many other things that you can address before you take a pill to cover it up, because even though you're going to be horny doesn't equate to pleasure, and it doesn't equate to fulfillment. It just equates to, like, probably you're going to be quicker to bust, which is like never satisfying. You know, you could do that at home by yourself. So I think that we're in a really artificial world right now, where people are so busy and they're trying to, like, get popping as quickly as they can and have something relevant to say. But a lot of the stuff that people are going viral for is like bullshit things that's not really, like, relevant. So it doesn't surprise me that those kind of videos are out there. But there were some things I wanted to say in here. So because I was talking about the aloe, and I was saying, because you talk about the aloe all the time, but what I like about the aloe is taking the aloe gel and then cutting the fillet. You know, you just get the nice little piece of aloe, and then you can insert that into the yoni when you have sex, and it basically recreates, like, the same exact feeling of our natural juices. So it's this beautiful natural lube. You like that?
Whoa, the aloe, the power of the aloe. I didn't even know that.
Really?
That is awesome. What,
yes,
say that
it's
again
really
to people in the back of the comments.
Yeah, okay, so you get the natural aloe, like Supernova Slum is always talking about. You cut out the gel, and you get a nice piece of the gel. Then you take that gel and you slide it into the yoni, and then it's gonna basically, like, dissolve, and it turns into a really nice juice and lube that you can then have sex with. So it's healthy for the yoni. Most people don't like the taste, but I know you do, Nova, so that might be your thing, you know. But for everybody else, you might not want to have oral sex after that point, but it's really great as
Man, I'll eat the shit out of some aloe pussy. What? I'll eat the goddamn, I'll suck that goddamn aloe pussy and get a detox. So I get to, she gets to come, and I get to take her yoni juices and the aloe combination. Can you imagine the aloe combination with the yoni juice combined? What type of power I can have? Oh my God. I will have such a cellular cosmic power between the combination of yoni juice and aloe. See, y'all motherfuckers don't even understand that.
Hey, Nova, video where it didn't happen. Video where it didn't happen.
You said what?
Video or it didn't happen.
Oh,
you got to show us the video.
Yeah, upload the.
Hey, wait. I just picked some aloe from out of my garden. I'm gonna go show you guys the consistency. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay. Wellness Salute family. We're having a little holistic wellness adult fun. Hope everybody's doing well. I think I saw Brother King Simon in the comments. Peace, Almighty. This is an aloe puss. Exactly. Well, listen, I'll take aloe pussy over Kentucky Fried Chicken pussy any goddamn day.
As you should. You deserve that.
Because that's a goddamn tumor waiting to happen. You know
all right, so
I'd rather eat a detox aloe pussy than a goddamn KFC pussy. That's just me. Okay,
okay. So we have about this size of a chunk of aloe, but you see the juices in there? When you're nice and juicy naturally and you're producing your own lubrication, it's very similar to this same exact texture. So if you put this in the yoni and then you have sex with this, it's just a very natural adaptation to the body. See that?
Dope. Wow.
Yeah.
Check the science out. Wow. See, and it's multi-use. Yeah, right. You can buy that's a formula. You know, yoni juice and aloe and yoni. I think that would kick Corona's ass. We just all need some pussy juice and aloe. That's it. Put that on your skin. And we don't have to be socially distanced anymore. We don't have that. That would kill social distancing.
That's right. Everybody listening, do your part and put some aloe inside the yoni.
Come on, sis. Hey, now, Tiffany, now that you opened that box up, can you talk? You know, a few posts ago, you spoke about the importance of brothers understanding, you know, the holistic science of lovemaking and respecting their woman in the process, and not being the 1 minute man. You know, you remember the blog you spoke about that? You spoke at different times in different ways. Yeah. Can you speak to why that's important for him? Because sometimes a man may think that, okay, I make sure that she's great, right? But how does this serve me? Because most men have sexual indoctrination has been pretty much limiting to him. He doesn't even understand how limiting it is to him that he's not even opening up his receptivity. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. from a sister that's definitely in the arts, can you just share with the brothers why, you know, having a holistic approach to the process benefits him as well as his woman?
Well, I think that overall we're dealing with a lot of women that men might call like not being able to satisfy them, or might even be calling these women bitches. And so, but to me, it's really just feedback from the lack of satisfaction that she's getting from men, or the lack of trust that she has, or her not being seen. I think that that's like a big factor, right? So gone are the days of where we're just having friction sex, where you're uneducated, where you're basically like your education level was never brought up to par. You, as far as in sex comes, you just learned how to stick your dick into something and just pump, which is just friction until you guys bust. And that's satisfying at first when you're dealing with like chemistry and when you're dealing out of curiosity. So the first few times that might be satisfying because you have a lot of different things at play. But over time and longevity, that's not what's going to stick. And women want to be felt, like they want to know that you feel them and that you understand them and that you're there more for them than just like sticking your dick inside of their hole. And equally, I would believe that men want something different too, but lack of pride or maybe fear of not knowing something can keep you from actually educating yourself. So I encourage everybody to educate yourself on the true technology of sex, because it really is a beautiful technology where if you learn about what you're doing when you're opening up someone's most powerful box of energy and you're choosing to exchange with them in that, there's something that happens that's beyond just like this burst of pleasure that you're getting. You know, there's something dynamic that you can do. You can actually change each other's self-esteem. You can support each other's visions. You can help heal like particular ailments that are going on with the body. you can manifest things that you're working on, and like bringing that energy into something beyond just like foot to pavement grinding. Like you can actually go and have sex and manifest something more powerfully than you can making 100 cold calls in a day. So
Right.
but in the process, there's this deep nourishment of seeing each other's souls and respecting and honoring that's going on. Like, as long as you're going to have sex with someone, you should be doing it from a space of like deep honor, and really letting that person walk away. Like, even if it's just a sexual exchange, that person could walk away feeling like, thank you so much for that. Like, obviously we're not compatible in other ways, but that exchange was so nourishing to me and so beautiful and so helpful. I
Right.
honor you on your journey. Best to you,
Right.
So that's what I'm into. I just think that we're like, it's like, you're a little old school if you only think that, like, if you're still talking to a woman talking about like, I could bang your back out and I'm gonna break your pussy and I'm gonna knock you off, all that shit. That's like old school hip hop, and you need to like elevate to some new school stuff.
Okay. Great science. I've always said that there are other chambers to the sexual exchange. That it's my contention upon that statement that 95% of the human population have never truly had sex. They have had exchanges, and they've produced the multitude of us based upon the exchanges. But the art that you're going into are the sacred chambers and the sciences of human evolution. Because see, now the deeper I can actually get into with the metaphysics, which you're saying, that's manifesting, is using another human being, as a co-creator in deep manifestation. It's actually it's that's the key. See, the key is that motherfuckers have been wasting each other's time.
Yeah.
Have been wasting it
because they don't know the value of their time.
And right. And so you can imagine if you have souls that actually come together with intention to quantify and qualify time.
Right.
See, now if you're already coming and you're setting your intention with another human being, that through the conduit of sex, right? We're using this instrumentation in this vehicle, but what's riding this is the clear intention. And sexuality is the vehicle we're moving the intention through. It becomes a whole other thing. It becomes a whole other limitless potentiality that is so magnified for both individuals, because now you're in serious manifestation mode. It's very possible. There's a lot of healing that has to happen on both parties of time and space continuums to create the space to facilitate that, because it's very powerful to have a clear intention with another human being, knowing that you're coming together to manifest. Like, to your points about, knowing that, hey, I'm working on these goals, you're working on these goals, and let's use this breathing together through our vehicle, this instrumentation called sexuality, to actually put intention on what you're working towards. And then she does the same for you. So sometimes it can be linked in where y'all are both working towards the same goal. Sometimes the man can actually just be supporting her and helping to breathe with her into her intention, so she can the quickening can manifest. And sometimes it may be what she's doing with him. But that is so profound. And the Veda text, a lot of the ancient Indian texts go into those Kama Sutra principles and that whole chamber, and before the West perverted it, it was a lot about manifesting and how to bring the goddess head forward into the experience with each other. Like, both of you all are using each other as the gateways or the stargates to allow the goddess head to come through in the experience. You know what I'm saying? With each other, and then the takeaway is so much profound. And so the other side of that is that because we don't have these tenets, we have not been, a lot of our indigenous rites of passages that would have facilitated this for millennia, right? When they were removed, right, the sexuality has become, we have a longing for each other, right? But we don't understand why. So we think it's just biological. We think it's either just, having a good time masturbating with each other, right? Or licking on each other until one or both climax, you know, and or having the eventuality of having a child. But when the rites of passage is taken out, you're not clear on what your role is as a man. And the woman's not really clear, you know what I mean? And so our roles are not necessarily aligned, you know, but we have the magnetism is pulling us to each other, right? Because that's why we're here. We always pull to each other. But the problem becomes we are not clear on our roles, you know?
Right.
And when you're clear on your role and you're honored to have this role and you're excited about the role, right? Then the service is honorable. You know what I'm saying? The Godhead of the woman, she's clear and she's excited about her role. He's excited about his role. So now they're bringing this transference into the roles. And they're excited. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, there is no selfish love happening. You know what I mean? Like, he's excited and he's patient with her process. She's patient with his process. Another thing is with a lot of brothers, because you made a point about men possibly wanting to experience something else. A lot of men do. But men have been fed a role by the time we actually get into, now I'm talking about a universality. I'm talking about a general universality. Most men, by the time they actually broker the atmosphere to be with the woman that they were probably more likely in lust for, right? Now he thinks he has to have a performance mechanism because he now has left being present with her. He's now occupying the curiosity, which has nothing to do with him, on who was she with before, who can she be with in the future, and so I gotta bang it, smack it, flip it, rub it down, you know, box the pussy, jumps the pussy, right? And so now he wants to be a pussy abuser, right? Because he was taught that was true to her, but he was taught that the domination aspect of it is what will allow her to receive him. And a lot of times that's not necessarily true, but that's what fills his mind. So most men, even the brothers that have the skills, right, and women maybe even be loving them, they're already going with this unseen phantom that they think they're chasing with the woman. And because they're chasing this phantom with their women, they're missing out on experiencing themselves be vulnerable and intimate with the woman. Because see, a man's true orgasm is not in him busting. A man's orgasm is his ability to let the ego go and be extremely fucking vulnerable.
Yes.
That's the orgasm. See, and brothers on this chat know the most powerful. I'm talking about the orgasm you feel it in your goddamn feet, toes, after you're vibrating. She try to kiss you, and you're like, please get away from me. The kiss, the touch, she's electrifying your soul, and you like, oh shit, right?
Yeah.
That
What
right
just
there
happened?
is because you let the vulnerability, the love took over so powerful, right? That the abuse you may have had, the rejection you may have had, it didn't matter no more. That's the orgasm, where the fucking joy is so greater than the fucking abuse and the pain and the lack, the fucking excitement of, oh my God, I'm here. This feels so fucking incredible. Oh my fucking Lord, that I transcend the abuse, you know, the neglect, the hurt, the past mate. This person is being present with each other. And every time she fucking moans, you have become one with the fucking moan. You forget about busting because you've become her fucking moan. You're like in tune with the fucking, she's a fucking dolphin and you're in tune with the sonar bouncing off the fucking waves in the ocean with her. And it becomes that fucking powerful that you're present. And you're like, oh shit, I'm present. I don't think about nothing else but this moment with her. I'm worshiping in this womb, and this womb is receiving this worship. As a result, she knights me back. And
That's
so
right.
This exchange is so present that y'all start to transcend. Now that right there, beloved, that right there is I know I've been blessed a few times in my journey to really be in that pocket. Woo! It's such an incredible, because I know that you have to be so vulnerable. You gotta get the fuck out the way. You gotta think, I'm not thinking about nothing else but me with her in this moment, and we're vulnerable, and fuck the ego, time and space don't, there's no clock, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Brothers that are not fronting on the straight one I'm talking about. Let me tell you, Tiffany, one time I had this experience with this sister, right? I'm not going, this is no fucking gas. All I remember is that I looked at the clock. I'll never forget this shit. I looked at the goddamn clock. It was like maybe about 6 o'clock in the afternoon. We had Purple Rain on. We took a few shots of Patron, but we had some Patron with some goddamn fresh squeezed pineapple juice and some ginger. So it's ginger, Patron, and fucking pineapple, and we was sipping on that shit. And all I remember, the last thing of Purple Rain I remember is when Prince was singing Apollonia, The Beautiful Ones. That was almost 7 o'clock. The next time I look at the clock, right? The clock, it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was all in it. I didn't know what time. I didn't know what happened. I don't know when I was going. I looked up. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going. I'm like, huh? I didn't look at the clock. We was going for hours. We was in the fucking chamber, and we lost all time and space. It was so fucking.
You know how much tinkering you guys did with each other's like spirit and energy and DNA within that time?
Tell me about. Talk back to me. Talk to me about the tinkering. Talk to us about the goddamn tinkering, beloved.
Yeah, well, you're going into like a very sacred space, and you're creating this energy, this force field of energy around you, where you're able to go into like changing things, changing how you feel. But there's a couple things I wanted to speak on. Is that I think that the majority of everybody has been molested, right? Or has been taken advantage of sexually. So in their mind, they equate sex with something that is like nasty or like taboo in some sort of way, or something that you have to hurry up and do, right? Because it's violated. And I know this because my work that I do through YoniEggs.com, I've serviced tens of thousands of people at this point, and I've heard so many stories, and 90% of all of my clients had this experience where I've come to understand that it comes from a base of where sex was taught from a violation space, right? So then when they start dating, like when they start choosing who they want to be with, what they accept and what they love is two different things, and most of them don't even know how to verbalize what they love, because they don't know like that it's possible, because all that they've experienced is like taken advantage of. And so they perpetuate that in some sort of way, where they choose partners that will come in and do the same level of disrespect onto their body, or they're not really taking the time with them because that's what they think is normal. So when you're talking about this level of the sex that you're talking about, you said a key word, which was patience. And it takes patience to develop intimacy. And intimacy is like, into me you see, right?
Come on, that's right.
So you're like literally seeing a person's soul, something deeper beyond just the physical, because the physical is just like a basic attraction. That's like the lowest thing, you know, attracted physically, whatever. But when you can get into a person's soul and like feel their soul mission and want to nourish that soul mission and use intention to like heal them while they're being completely naked, completely vulnerable, exposing you to the most tender parts of their emotions and of their body, then of course you're like this deep layer of healing. So like there's something I like to do. I'll give you this. I'm about to teach a class. I actually am launching this on Monday. I'll tell you guys first. Nice. But it's a donation.
If you want to plug, please, let's take a time. We channel it. I want you to plug your site, plug your handles here, and plug with the class if you would invite the sister brothers to check you out. Again, you have this one, beloved. Yeah. It's
called intimacyandIsolation.com. And so I'll write that. But I wanted to say this is because one of the things that we're going to teach is about worshiping and having a worship session with your partner. And so what I like to do when I'm with the man is like taking time to just calm his energy, right? And so creating this space of like like massage, like a real massage where it's not about like massaging to like get something out of him or massaging of like, okay, my turn, hurry up, you know, but like a genuine like calming of your energy and like with your intentions and your mindset of like you're safe here in this space and just surrender and just relax and like touching the body. Everybody loves touch. There's something really special to being touched and moving tissue and moving energy. And like after you touch the entire body, getting to the space where then taking them from soft and like holding them in your hand and taking them from being soft and like allowing that to grow, but then switching the intentions to just send love to like, wow, this tool that you have is so precious. Like it can bring forth life. It can heal. It's so amazing. Like, you know, and like just thinking these thoughts as you touching it as if like you're touching an extension of God and like you're holding something so precious in your hands and something so precious is happening that you even have this person's time and trust to be able to hold some so sensitive in your hands, right? And then like massaging it with that type of intention and like thinking to it like I'm sorry that you were violated before you gave permission for circumcision. I'm sorry that you were not taught and honored and you weren't understood of how precious you were and like the exchanges that you have that may have somehow been unhealthy or compromised you. And like, you know, I released that. I nourish that, like nourish you back, you know, and whatever those thoughts are, just empowering them and like putting all of that into your intention as you touch them. And it's just this really beautiful experience. And so like, as you feel their energy start to move, and it's not about bringing them to like making them come. So you're not touching them with the intention of like, oh, hurry up and come, you know, but like really a true healing situation of like, I love you, you're amazing, and just because you are. Like, it's not about you being my man or you doing all these, fulfilling all these expectations that I have. It's just about you existing in this time and space and you being so vulnerable to a person like myself who allow me to touch you like this. You deserve to be nourished right now. And it's like beautiful exchange. And then like, so as their heat starts to build and the energy starts to build, and then taking that energy from out of the lower chakras, and like with your hand, moving it up to the heart. Because the men live so much in the heart, right? So when you place your hand onto the heart and you just send it into there of like, beloved, you're so nourished, you're so respected. And you can like actually speak these things out to them, you know, and like, whatever it is they're working on, like your voice is so valuable. When you walk in the room, people respect you and honor you. Like whatever their confidence state is that you're building up into them as you place your hand on their heart, and then you can move that energy in a clockwise motion onto the heart, which is really nourishing to experience. The men can do a version of this for women too. But there's just so many cool things that you can do when you are patient with each other and when you are vulnerable. You can really go deep and do some amazing healing.
So incredible, beloved. Can you please plug that website again? Because brothers and sisters, I need y'all to follow our sister Tiffany Janae and check out this website. This is part of the healing that we're talking about. Not only the foods we put in our bodies to nourish ourselves, but we're talking about, you know, having profound relationships on the rest of our time on the planet. The rest of our time on the planet with ourselves and each other should not have to be around trauma and what has happened to us in the past. But, you know, as we are healing ourselves and taking the journeys to, you know, heal daily and open ourselves up to all possibilities, you know, may we be able to attract high value men and women into our lives. And then to have the healing, to use sex and sexuality as a conduit for healing and restoration. I think that's the future. That's the present future that we should be aspiring to. And it's not only, you know, you hear women talk about it like yourself tremendously with the enthusiasm, but trust, brothers, I would encourage you all to really open yourselves up to this healing, because the type of soul-gasmic experience you're going to experience with your partner and yourself is going to be profound, you know. And you know, a lot of men, because they don't have the platforms to really, you know, a lot of sisters have the healing circles, you know, that's pretty much a universal thing. All women, all ethnicities, traditions have that. Most men don't have those things, you know. But like myself and my cousin Hallelujah, we started the Man Heal Thyself Rites of Passage program, which we started today. We had our first session with the brothers. Profound brothers are definitely working on themselves. So that's really dope for women to know that there are a group of men out here that are really doing the inner work, you know. But I was gonna say is that most men, you know, when I talk to brothers, no matter from, you know, street brothers to corporate guys, when you talk to men, they really want to have the experience of just fully letting them guards down and being intimate and connecting. But it's a lot of fear around heartbreak. A lot of men have problems trusting. And this is beyond, this is no slight at the wonderful women they've married or have children with or relationships with, because even in that, a lot of men still have intimacy issues to fully be vulnerable, even in the committed relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to highlight that because what you're saying is profound, and most men are scared to open up to that level. You know what I'm saying? For fear of not really being received. You know, and so most of us men play the role. We overplay the hardcore. You know, I don't need shit. Fuck it. You know, I'm a beat it up role. But most men really don't want. When you start talking to brothers, man, talking about all levels, they get tired of performing. You know, they be when they talk to them. A lot of men want an opportunity to fully just relax and open up in their relationships. You know, and so and again, I'm not blaming women to say women don't facilitate this. I'm just saying, I'm just letting sisters know there are men out there, a lot of men, that even if their actions are opposite of what they're expressing, because a lot of times, like you said earlier about the trauma, men have it. A lot of men, you know, a lot of our brothers have been raped and molested and have a lot of trauma around sexuality themselves. And because they live in a very competitive society with other men, they think that, well, shit, I got her, so I got to over-compete. And a lot of times you don't necessarily have to do that. But unfortunately, Tiffany, some women also hold men to that standard of competition with them too. You know, it's like some women hold their own men to that standard that he has to always overperform in his union, where he can't really open up to his own intimacy. You know what I'm saying? Where he can probably facilitate it for her, but he's not sure if she's going to really receive his heart and his vulnerability, and don't look at him less than if he's able to show that. And that's the thing. Men don't want to look to their woman that they really are into. They don't give a fuck about a lot of other people, but they don't want to appear to their women to be looked less than, you know? So they'll just hold it in, unfortunately, and limit themselves from experiencing that. And I just want to encourage our sisters out there who are doing your healing work and who are definitely enrolling in courses like Tiffany Janae is facilitating, you know, as you get more confident, sisters, and healed up, you know, be excited about letting your men know that it's okay to be, you know, create that intimacy with you, you know. He just wants to know that it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Some men just really want they, you know, they're not going to say it, but if they know it's okay, you may get an opportunity to have another experience with your man. Tiffany.
Well, yeah. Well, so there's a few things. Is that I really believe that our wounds attract our wounds, but our healing could also attract our healing, right? And it takes a lot of self-accountability, and you have to curb a lot of desperation within yourself, because what happens is that if you don't believe in your own power, if you get yourself, like if you're on your green juices and you're on your healing and all of that, at some point that's going to become easy to you. But if you don't believe like what is also possible from raising your frequency to that point, to that level, and you start to sacrifice who you magnetize yourself to or who you allow to stay through that magnetization, then you compromise your process, right? And so a lot of people are dealing with attraction through desperation and afraid. Like,
wait, open that up.
So
you ain't gonna don't do the Bugs Bunny running off of that. They're attracting through you said desperation?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that. What does that mean?
So I think that a lot of people typically are dealing with low self-esteem, and they're operating on a level of fear. And so they tend to like whoever likes them, right? Like, oh, okay, well, since you like me, I guess I'll like you too. It's better than being myself.
Wow.
Then they end up spending their time doing a lot of dumb shit. And then that's how you hear all these people like, oh, I knew better. I shouldn't have done. Too late. You already did it, right? And so, but we can change it for next time. And it takes a lot, and sometimes you might have to be in isolation for a long time, and it can be beyond what feels comfortable to you, but it's really a learning experience and an opportunity for you to like address those cravings. Like, ooh, my standard current currently isn't set for me to engage on this level with this person who's attracted to me in this level, or that I feel an attraction to. So I'm going to sit with that rather than respond to that. And in my sitting with, I'm going to learn about myself. Like, what part inside of me thinks that that's okay? Like, even I recognize it as that would be an unhealthy thing for me to decide, but I almost decided it. So let me sit with that so that I can nourish that part of myself, educate myself, and keep raising my frequency. And sometimes you might be alone for a very long time because it's easy. You can, if you want to get fucked, you can just walk outside. There's all kinds of people who want to fuck. But like deep levels of being seen and connection, unfortunately, right now, they don't come too frequently because we're all still doing our work. We're all just awakening that this is a level of work that needs to be done, and it's something to be taken seriously. So we set the foundation with like the work that your family has done by teaching us the importance of our diet and of working out and all of these things, you know, taking care of our temple on a physical level. But then now we have to elevate that into who we co-create with and who we share intimate space with. And again, it has to move, you have to move past a lot of desperation, because the desperation will just say like, well, I'll just take this because I don't want to be alone. And our society shames people for being single. Like, it's something of like, it's not something you're supposed to stay at. It's something that you're just supposed to touch in and move back out. You know, like, you're almost more valued as long as you have someone by your side. It doesn't matter if that person's a scrub. It's just that, well, at least you have someone, so someone's validating you. But it's really hard for people to just stand on their own and to validate their own self. And so this is a deep part of the work, right? And so that when you can maintain that frequency, because it's one thing to say, I know what I deserve, but knowing what you deserve and what you actually accept are two very different things. And so how do you get those two intentions to coexist with each other? You have to hold your space. Even if it's you're getting pushed off or you're feeling the pull to go somewhere else, you have to hold your stance no matter how long it takes. And then you can truly resonate with, I deserve this and I'm experiencing this, right? So you're no longer accepting relationships or intermingling that is beneath you. Because, you know, the majority of my